Well, planning ahead, we all know how important it is, but it's especially important when making funeral arrangements. Scott Darby is a certified funeral celebrant and pre-need sales manager at Camino del Sol Funeral Chapel and Cremation Center. And with him is Rosemary Abrami. And I'm going to explain why Rosemary is here in just a moment. First of all, welcome to both of you.
Thanks. Good to be back.
So, Scott, I want to talk about the fact that anybody makes a choice to do organ or body donation it's a wonderful thing.
It's a great thing.
Why is it important to have Plan B?
Well, when you sign up for a donation program, it's, again, a wonderful thing. And there are so many things that you have to take in, that the donation facilities take into consideration at the time of passing.
Okay.
And basically, something that we don't realize is that there's a high percentage of people that don't get accepted even though they sign up for donation.
Okay, which is a possibility.
It's one possibility.
Okay, we need to know that, because when we do sign up for it, they are saying that we take your body, we take your organs, we're going to take care of the body.
Exactly.
But if it doesn't happen, then what?
Exactly. There's so many factors that they're not even in control of.
Okay.
So it's about the time of passing and how long it takes to come into the facility. There are so many things that the programs and the facilities themselves aren't involved in that actually make whether you're good for donation or not.
There's a lot of unknowns, is what you're saying.
A lot of unknowns.
Rosemary is shaking her head, yes, because this is, now, Rosemary, you've already decided that you are going to donate. You've been part of a research study program. You've already decided that you're going to donate your body and your brain to a program. Why did you find it important to have Plan B, make those funeral arrangements, if you're already doing that?
Funnily enough, my husband and I looked into pre-need arrangements a few years ago when some friends of ours were making arrangements. And I did the investigation and I presented the material to my husband, and it was just something he didn't want to discuss. He didn't want to talk about it at the time. And being a nice wife, I said, okay, and I let it slide. And then, sadly, last year, he died very unexpectedly.
I'm so sorry.
Me too, thank you. And at a time when I was sad and stressed and emotional, I had to plan not only his funeral, but the finances to cover his funeral. At the same time, I got involved with this body and brain donation program. And that was when I discovered that it's fine if they want the bits and pieces of you, but what if they don't want any of you at all? And as Scott said, that's when you need a Plan B.
Right.
And that's how I came out to Scott to discuss my Plan B. And it was amazing. He said, well, you can have cremation, in which case we do this with the ashes, or you can have full traditional burial, in which case where do you want to be buried and who's going to do the funeral, and what happens if you don't die in Phoenix? Hey, what happens if you don't even die in America?
Oh, he asked you a lot of questions.
Hey, and what about how do you pay for it? These were all topics that we discussed. In the sweetest, kindest, most compassionate and involved way. And while I am the first one to admit that this is not as much fun as planning a birthday party, I will say that when I sat down and wrote my name at the bottom of that contract, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders, because I don't have any children. I have stepchildren. I now know that when I die, and it's when, not if, when I die, they have no problems. Everything is organized. I hope it's not going to happen for quite a while.
I do too.
And I hope that I will be useful to the donation program. But if I'm not, I've got my Plan B.
She's got Plan B, and I'm sure she's got C, D, E, and F as well. So, knowing Rosemary, the little I know her, very, very good information. Scott, I had no idea about that, so thank you. And Rosemary, thank you for sharing your story. I think you've inspired a lot of people today, so thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
I want to give you some information now. If you would like to receive, there's a free pre-planning and grief guide that Scott can provide to you. All you need to do is contact Camino del Sol through their website, and they will send that to you. Here is that website. It's caminodelsol.com. CaminoDelSol.com. Would you like more information about Camino del Sol Funeral Home or Funeral Chapel and Cremation Center? Here's where they're located at 13738 Camino del Sol. They are in Sun City West. They have an entire building dedicated to pre-planning. 623-584-6299. Once again, the website, CaminoDelSol.com.